Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel, American English Academy. Today, I want to tell you a powerful story about a young, beautiful girl called Jocelyn. Have you ever made a choice you regretted deeply? Sometimes, one small decision can completely change someone's life. We often make choices without thinking about what might happen later. This is the story of a young woman named Jocelyn. Jocelyn was a beautiful and ambitious young woman. She grew up in a loving African family with simple dreams. Her parents worked hard and wanted her to succeed. From childhood, they taught her to respect herself and protect her future. Jocelyn was intelligent and friendly at school. She enjoyed meeting people and making new friends. She also wanted everyone around her to like her. Unfortunately, that desire for acceptance slowly became one of her greatest weaknesses. When Jocelyn entered secondary school, everything began changing. She met older girls who seemed confident and independent. They often talked about relationships, parties, and romantic experiences. Jocelyn admired them because she wanted to become like them. At first, their friendship seemed completely harmless. They invited Jocelyn to parties and introduced her to new people. They constantly told her that she was too innocent. Slowly, their words began influencing the way she saw herself. Jocelyn started believing that relationships proved maturity. She thought having many partners made someone attractive. Whenever she felt lonely, she searched for attention from others. She slowly became trapped inside a dangerous emotional cycle. Her friends never understood what she was experiencing. They only encouraged her to continue making risky decisions. Whenever Jocelyn wanted to stop, they laughed at her. They told her that everyone was living exactly the same way. But Jocelyn knew something was wrong inside. After many encounters, she often felt empty afterward. She sometimes cried alone in her bedroom. Still, she continued because she feared being rejected. One evening, her closest friend, Catherine, noticed something. She asked Jocelyn whether everything was really okay. Jocelyn smiled and said that nothing was wrong, but Catherine could see sadness behind her friend's smile. Months passed, and Jocelyn's behavior became harder controlling. She began neglecting her education and personal goals. Her parents noticed that her school performance was falling. They asked questions, but Jocelyn avoided telling them everything. Then something frightening happened one morning. Jocelyn began feeling unusually tired and uncomfortable. She noticed symptoms that worried her deeply. Instead of visiting a health professional, she decided to ignore them. She hoped the symptoms would disappear naturally. Unfortunately, they became more uncomfortable over time. Catherine eventually convinced her to visit a clinic. Jocelyn finally agreed because she was becoming increasingly frightened. At the clinic, a healthcare professional listened carefully. The doctor asked questions about her recent health. Jocelyn answered honestly, even though she felt embarrassed. The doctor then recommended appropriate medical testing. Waiting for the results felt incredibly difficult. Jocelyn sat quietly, thinking about her past decisions. She remembered every warning she had ignored. She also remembered the dreams she once had. Finally, the doctor asked Jocelyn to come inside. The conversation that followed changed her life completely. Her tests showed that she had HIV and other sexually transmitted infections. She felt as if the entire world had suddenly stopped. Jocelyn began crying uncontrollably inside the consultation room. She wondered how she could face her parents. She wondered whether her dreams were completely finished. Most importantly, she finally understood the seriousness of her choices. The doctor spoke calmly and compassionately to her. HIV is a serious condition, but treatment can help. People living with HIV can live long, healthy lives. Following medical advice and taking treatment properly is extremely important. Jocelyn also learned another important lesson. Some sexually transmitted infections can have no symptoms. A person may feel completely healthy while carrying an infection. Regular testing can therefore help people understand their health. That day, Jocelyn stopped blaming everyone around her. She accepted responsibility for her own decisions. She also realized that shame would not solve anything. What she needed was treatment, support, and a healthier direction. When she finally returned home, she told Catherine, she also decided to speak honestly with her parents. She expected anger and disappointment from them. Instead, her mother held her tightly and cried. Her father was deeply disappointed by what happened. However, he reminded Jocelyn that her life was not finished. He told her that mistakes can become powerful lessons. He encouraged her to take responsibility and continue moving forward. Jocelyn began receiving medical care regularly. She also started speaking with a counselor. Counseling helped her understand her emotional struggles. She discovered that loneliness had influenced many of her decisions. She also realized that attention was not love. Someone wanting her did not mean they respected her. True love should include respect, responsibility, honesty, and healthy boundaries. This understanding completely changed the way she viewed relationships. Jocelyn slowly rebuilt her life again. She returned to her studies with greater determination. She avoided friends who encouraged harmful behavior. Instead, she surrounded herself with supportive and responsible people. Her journey was not always easy. Some people judged her because of her past. Others whispered whenever they saw her. Jocelyn learned not to let cruel opinions control her future. She began sharing her experience with younger girls. She did not share her story to receive sympathy. She wanted other girls to understand the dangers of pressure. She wanted them to make informed decisions before facing similar consequences. Her message was simple and powerful. Never allow friends to control your personal decisions. Never confuse sexual attention with genuine love. Never feel ashamed about asking questions concerning sexual health. She also encouraged young people to seek medical advice. If you notice unusual symptoms, visit a qualified professional. If you are sexually active, learn about protection and testing. Honest conversations can sometimes prevent serious consequences. Jocelyn eventually understood something very important. A difficult past does not completely define someone. A diagnosis does not remove someone's value. A painful mistake does not mean someone's future has ended. Today, Jocelyn still remembers her younger self. She remembers the girl who desperately wanted acceptance. She remembers the friends who influenced her decisions. Most importantly, she remembers the moment she finally chose responsibility. Her story became a lesson about consequences. It also became a lesson about forgiveness. Jocelyn learned to forgive herself without forgetting her mistakes. She understood that healing requires both honesty and patience. If you are a young person listening today, remember this. You never need to prove maturity through risky behavior. You never need to impress friends by ignoring your values. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. Choose friends who support your future. Choose relationships based on respect and responsibility. Learn about sexual health from reliable professionals. Most importantly, never be afraid to say no. Jocelyn's story is fictional, but its lesson is real. Our choices can influence our health and future. Peer pressure can sometimes push people toward dangerous decisions. That is why knowledge and confidence are extremely important. And now, remember why we shared the story. You are not only listening to an emotional story today, you are also practicing English through listening. Listen carefully, repeat useful sentences, and practice speaking them aloud. Learn new vocabulary from every story you hear. Try telling the story again using your own words. The more you listen and speak, the more confident you become. Keep learning English, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. Most importantly, remember Jocelyn's final lesson. Your future is more valuable than temporary approval. Protect your health, protect your dreams, and choose your friends wisely. Sometimes saying no today can protect your entire tomorrow.